Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is McKenna and she went away. MK was right here, but she decided to step out of the frame. Today I want to tell you about my experience of adopting a dog from Vanderpump Dogs. I adopted her almost 2 years ago in July. Overall, I just want to say that I had a really positive experience and I continuously have a positive experience. I think that Vanderpump Dogs really does a good job of keeping up with their adoptees and adopters. And I think that MK has grown a lot in the past 2 years that I've had her. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say that she's a perfect dog, but she is a really great companion. She loves me, she loves my family, and she's really grown to love my roommates as well. I know that with rescue dogs, just in general, they sometimes have a hard time adjusting, but I have seen a huge change in her over the past 2 years, and I'm really excited to show that to all of you and explain the whole process of adopting from Vanderpump Dogs, so stay tuned. The whole story of why I decided to get a dog or adopt a dog is because I had just moved to Beverly Hills. This was when I had moved away from my family for the first time. Side note, when I first moved to Beverly Hills, I had told my mom that I wanted to adopt a dog. And not that my mom hates animals or anything, but of course dogs are a big responsibility, and she was like, if you get a dog, I will literally kill you. And you can't bring it back home, and like you just, yeah, she was not happy. But I did it anyway. Growing up, I had 2 dogs. The first dog we rescued, he was found in a Costco parking lot, and then my dad was a teacher growing up, and his teaching aide found him in the Costco parking lot, and this was our first dog we ever got. His name is Sammy. He's literally like the best dog ever, and she kind of gifted him to us, and we had him for 11 years, and he just passed away at the end of March. So yeah, he lived a good life though, and we still miss him every day, and it's still kind of hard to talk about him because he really was like a brother to me. And then my sophomore year in high school, my mom worked for the local newspaper, and she was covering an event called Homeward Bound in my hometown, and this is where all of the surrounding shelters and like towns would come, and they would bring like all their adoptable cats and dogs, and hopefully that they would get dogs. So my mom was covering this event, and we begged my mom to let us go up there with her. She knew that if we went up there, we would want a dog or a cat, and she said, you know, absolutely not. Then my sister was walking around, and there was one of the pounds had come, and they just kind of laid their dogs out. There was this big white fluffy one. I mean, not big, she was like 12 pounds, but bigger than our little dog Sammy, who's like 8 pounds. Anyway, so my sister like scoops her up, and my sister walks over to my mom, and she's like, hey, if we get this dog, like I'll pay the fee, which was like I think $30. So my sister and my mom and all of us who were there, my siblings, we held this dog, and we were like, oh, she needs a home, like she's so calm, and she was just like the best little dog ever. We brought her home, and her name is Winnie, and she's just like the most cuddly, like energetic, funny, like little dog. I think a lot of times with shelter dogs especially, or dogs that have been rescued or adopted, they sometimes have issues like warming up to people, and our dog Sammy definitely did. For like the first year that we had him, he would like tiptoe around, and we could only hear him by like, he would like go like around the house, and then we were like, oh, Sammy's coming. And then our dog Winnie though immediately loved us. She loved everyone. She was always the life of the party. Anyway, okay, back to this MK story. So I wanted to adopt a dog. I knew that it wasn't going to be like a smooth and easy process. So I had some friends who grew up in Beverly Hills, around Beverly Hills, that I was living with. So they were like, hey, let's go look at Vanderpump Dogs. I actually had never heard of the show Vanderpump Rules. I didn't know who Lisa Vanderpump was. I had no prior knowledge of this whole like Vanderpump empire. So we walked into this place. The whole front is pink, and it has like a little fence outside, and it's super cute. So we go in, and there's like this framed picture of this like woman holding a Pomeranian, and I was like, huh, that's weird, but all right. So we're looking around, and you had to fill out like this form saying that you wanted to like pet and play with the dogs. And so I did that, and they had some new puppies that I was playing with. They had this really cute like little pit bull mix. Anyway, there's all these little different dogs, and then there were 2 dogs in their own little fenced in area, and they said that they were brother and sister. I don't know, looking back, if they were actually like brother and sister or if they were just from the same place. The boy, he looked more like a traditional Yorkie. He looked like he was probably a purebred Yorkie. And then MK was there, and she definitely has Yorkie in her. She's definitely a terrier, but she also has another mix as well, because you can tell that she's not like a purebred Yorkie. Anyway, she was like attached to him. Wherever he went, she would follow. If he wanted someone to hold him, she would jump up in the lap as well. And they were just attached. Everything the boy one did, she would do as well. So I filled out an application to actually adopt her and the brother, to see if maybe I could get like even both of them, because they seemed like they really wanted each other. And I started looking at other places as well. And then I got a call about 2 weeks later, and they were like, hey, so the dog that you want is still up for adoption, but her brother actually got adopted. So we're really looking for like a loving home to like take this little puppy, because she can't, like the person who adopted the brother doesn't want to get 2 dogs. So if you come in right now and you bring in like a video of your house for like a home inspection, then you can take her home today. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I take a quick video, I get dressed real quick, and I drive down. It was probably like 3 miles away. And they gave me like a leash and a little collar to put on her. Oh no, she's going crazy. So I always wanted a Yorkie, and I wanted a small dog. Once I got home and I got her all settled in, I, of course, like a good millennial, made an Instagram for her. And then someone who actually had rescued MK and rescued MK's brother messaged me and told me the whole story about how MK was found and brought to Vanderpump Dogs. So she had told me via Instagram Messenger that she was at a pound, and basically what Vanderpump Dogs does is they go to like pounds, or they actually get a lot of their dogs from China, from the meat trade there, and they bring them to the US, and they obviously like doctor them up, make sure that they're okay. They give them all their shots, they spay and they neuter them, and then they adopt them out. So basically she told me that she was at a local pound near Vanderpump Dogs, and this lady drove up and she held out MK, and she held out MK's brother like by the necks, and she just drove by really quick, dropped him off in front, and drove away. They could tell that MK had probably at least like 2 to 4 litters of puppies already. Her stomach, and even when I adopted her, was really stretched out. She probably had a litter of puppies pretty closely to when I actually adopted her. She was like very tired and fatigued. She was obviously very scared, but that really had less to do with just giving birth. But anyway, so she said that they had dropped these dogs off by the necks. Their hair was long. They probably had been in a breeder situation. MK actually had like a little eye infection, and she sent me a video before that she had been groomed and her eye infection had been worked out and everything. And it was just really sad to see her like that, because I mean, look at her. She's not in very much. She has quite the lavish life, sleeping on the couch here now. But yeah, because you know, like you want the best for your new little pup and dog and everything. Eventually I was able to track down her brother as well. Actually haven't gotten to meet her brother yet, but I still like hope that will happen in the future. Something that I've really appreciated about Vanderpump Dogs is that they keep up with their adopters and adoptees. They have little like Vanderpump Dog get-togethers where dogs who have been adopted will come. Of course, you can also bring like your other dogs that weren't from Vanderpump Dogs. They have little like contests with like best smile, best kisser, best, you know, trick or whatever, where you enter your Vanderpump Dogs in and you get like little prizes. They also are really good about keeping your information. So when I adopted MK, her name was Cookie, And so anything that I need from them, I can basically email the Vanderpump Dog people or call and say like, hey, I adopted this dog in 2017. Her name was Cookie at the time. Can I get her rabies information? Can I get her date of when she was spayed? So they're really good at like keeping on top of that. They really make sure that the dog is like in good hands, and they always keep up on the information. So if something were to happen with MK or to MK, I could go and tell them about it, and they will help me like through the situation or like help me to solve it. The day that I got this little dog, she was skinny. She had just had puppies, probably. She had been spayed. One thing that's special about her is that she only holds up one ear, and people always point that out. Like, yes, I obviously know that. But when I got her, she immediately let me like pick her up, hold her. I walked out of Vanderpump Dogs like with her in my arms, and then while we were driving home, she just sat in my lap and she was very calm. She's still like a pretty calm dog, unless there's like someone at the window, then she's gonna tell them that this is her apartment and her house. But she's pretty calm. One thing that she is still working on is that she loves two people, me and my sister. She tolerates a couple people, and then she likes my roommates and she likes my mom. And that's it. She's not very like secure dog. She's pretty choosy in who she likes to be around or who she lets pick her up. Yeah, I knew that there was gonna be a lot of work that went into it. I knew that you know, maybe she was gonna have like some behavior problems, but she did have like a really hard, like tough beginning to life. So I know that, like, I knew getting into it that she might not be like as sociable. Her favorite activities are ball. She loves to play ball. If I say, MK, where's your ball? She'll go and find her ball. She likes to take long naps, and she likes to be my shadow. If I go in the kitchen, she's right by my heels. If I go to the bed, she's right next to me. If she could, she would literally like live on me. She's like, you're my mother. You rescued me. I will live with you forever. She is just obsessed with me. MK's name is actually Mary Kate, but it's a long name, and I don't think I've ever called her that, like in a conversation or when someone asks her name. It says that on her tag, but we call her either MK or we call her Emmy, M a lot of the time. Or I just call her like, you know, whatever, like we call her Baby Shark. We call her Macaroni yesterday. She has lots of names. If I were to recommend Vanderpump Dogs, the only downside that I really see is that usually when you adopt a dog or you rescue a dog, it is for like a very low cost because they want to get dogs adopted, obviously. And Vanderpump Dogs does as well. But adopting a dog, because of the name that's attached to Vanderpump Dogs, because of the work they do overseas in the meat trade, you can like see their Instagram for all this stuff. It's actually really interesting about the meat trade of dogs. They take dogs from there over to here, and then, you know, obviously like all the humanitarian work that Vanderpump Dogs does. The cost to adopt a dog from Vanderpump is like exponentially higher than it would be anywhere else. When I was getting into this whole Vanderpump dog world, I definitely knew that it shouldn't have been that expensive, and at the time I was like a little like upset about it. But looking at like all of the help and all of the records and everything they do, I'm actually not that upset about like the cost, because I know that it's going to obviously the people working there, and it's a non-profit organization, so the money that you spend there like isn't going to the Vanderpump family, it's going to like this organization. So that's really the one downside, is that it is expensive. So yeah, I recommend recommend them. So if you like this video or you have any questions about the whole adoption process, or you know, what I have been through, or the difficulties of having a dog while in college, please like this video, leave a comment, anything you want to see. Follow me on all my social medias at It's Just Me Kenny. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.